What's good, y'all, and welcome to my review for Pulp Fiction. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, back to back movie reviews for you guys this weekend. I guess you can say I'm making up for having like no reviews for the last like few weeks because nothing really came out recently until of course now, and of course we got Uncharted dropping next week. But yeah, I finally watched Pulp Fiction for the first time ever in the movie theater as Quentin Tarantino intended it, because the minor was screening it this weekend. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, hell yes, I gotta go and watch Pulp Fiction and finally cross this off my bucket list. And man, this movie is absolutely masterful. This, I won't lie, this came damn close to topping Kill Bill Volume 1 as my favorite Tarantino film. But I think I would give Kill Bill still the slight edge, man. But this movie was absolutely legendary. So let's just jump right in. So the movie is, of course, directed by the legendary, the GOAT, Quentin Tarantino, and of course stars Samuel L. motherfucking Jackson, John Travolta, Uma Thurman, Bruce Willis, Tim Roth, and many more. And so the plot of Pulp Fiction: Vincent Vega and Jules Winfield are hitmen with a penchant for philosophical discussions. In this ultra multi-strict fucking Christ. This fucking synopsis on Google. Oh my goodness. Their story is interwoven with those of their boss, his wife, his actress wife, struggling boxer, master fixer, and a nervous pair of armed robbers. Quite the plot synopsis. But anyway, so first off, obviously the cast is amazing. Samuel L. Jackson obviously is a highlight, man. Every time he's on screen, he's legendary. He probably has the most quotable lines in the entire movie. John Travolta is great. I heard like apparently this movie like saved his career or something, and I can definitely see why, because this performance in this movie was actually fucking spectacular. Like way better than I thought it was gonna be. Like I kind of saw some parts of it from like memes and shit, but I'm like, yo, John Travolta is really fucking good in this movie. Uma Thurman is of course spectacular as always, man. Although I do wonder if, and this is something I found kind of funny with her character, where we find out she was on this like show, and they did like a pilot of it called like, what was it, Fox? It was like Fox Furious 5 or something. I think her Fox Furious 5, I think it was, or something else, or something along those lines. But apparently, like her thing was that she like used knives or whatever, which I found funny because if you guys know, she's also, because she plays the bride in Kill Bill, and katanas and shit, all the Japanese stuff. And then we see something like this one scene with Bruce Willis, when he's like when he's like up in the stage with the weapons he's picking, and like the last one's like a katana. I do wonder if like, while he was writing this, the seeds were being planted in the gears returning for Kill Bill, because I'm pretty sure that was the movie he did right after Pulp Fiction, if I'm not mistaken. That was the next one. I might be wrong on that one, but I'm pretty sure after Pulp Fiction, his next one was Kill Bill. But anyway, so I just found that kind of a little humorous, and like, I wonder if this is like where he started to get the ideas for Kill Bill. But anyway, so he was great. Quentin Tarantino in this one cameo was spectacular, man, with Dead Nigger Storage. Really, that shit had me in fucking tears. I was laughing so hard I was stinking in my chair and shit, man. Oh, it was amazing. Bruce Willis is amazing. Oh, oh my goodness, man. Christopher Walken, like in his once. Christopher Walken. I swear to God, after I watch that scene, man, I'm never gonna be able to look at my watch the same ever again. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Fucking watch, man. And the rest of the cast is fucking amazing. So, first off, I gotta praise outside the cast is the dialogue. We've all seen the memes. We all know that this is one of the most quoted movies of all time, man. And man, you can see why. A Royale with cheese, fucking gourmet type shit. With Samuel L. Jackson's whole speech from Ezekiel 5:17, I think it was, about the path of the righteous man. You got that, what the fuck else? Dead Nigger Storage, I already mentioned. Dead Nigger Storage. Absolutely hilarious, man. John Travolta, the Batman, man. Like, there's so many lines, so many scenes you can probably pick out one like quotable lines, man. It just, The dialogue is just spectacular the whole way. Seriously, shout outs to Quentin Tarantino, man, for his screenplay, man. That man knows how to write dialogue. Seriously. So that was, and speaking of actually of a royal with cheese, after I watched this movie, I did grab myself a royal with cheese at Bigfoot Burger right when I got back from the theater because I just had to, man. I was actually tempted to just straight up ask them for a royal with cheese when I got there, but I ended up just asking for like a double. I just said a double cheeseburger, just to make sure they don't look at me like I'm crazy. So the dialogue's amazing. I like now you guys look with this movie. Quentin Tarantino kind of like popularized non-linear storytelling, and I kind of really and I thought it was done really well here in Pulp Fiction. Obviously, since popularized it, obviously would have been done really well. But since I don't really, I think this is like one of the few movies that I can say that I can remember that had it. I really dug it, and I also kind of liked it was kind of a bit rewarding when as the movie progresses, you kind of see certain events kind of happen from like older perspectives, and it kind of like a bit of a rewarding when you try to like put the movie back together in like chronological order how it was, and like this scene happened, then this thing, then this thing, then this thing, and you figure out like how all the movie came together well once you reach the end. I thought it was really well done, like a really cool when you finally finish the movie, you can start to put the pieces together, like how this movie actually would have happened, how it did happen in or chronological order. So that was really good. Obviously, the comedy is spectacular, which I've already mentioned. A handful of lines are my favorites. Um, Seriously, man, this movie had me in tears. So the audience I was with, man, the crowd was laughing their asses off just as much as I was when when this movie was going on. The cinematography is, of course, spectacular as always, man. Of course, you got the iconic trunk shots, a dance sequence, so many well done scenes, man, throughout the entire movie. Uh, Also, I think we can all agree that Quentin Tarantino doesn't even bother trying to hide his foot fetish in this movie. Or hell, this is probably the first time where it was kind of became obvious that he did have a foot fetish. Because literally, when Uma Thurman gets introduced, we finally see her. She gets introduced with her feet because, of course, and literally after she's like done talking, she literally puts her foot like where she's like rolls it over where her toes are, and you can see the sole of her feet. I'm like, bro, you're not even trying at this point. And then of course you got the iconic scene for like where you had Jules and Vincent talking for like 5 minutes about the implications of giving someone a foot massage and throwing them off a fourth-story building into a glass house. Which how much y'all want to bet Quentin Tarantino is the type of guy, given that he does have given that we all know he has a foot fetish, that would after that someone did give his wife give his wife a foot massage, he would throw them off a four-story building into a glass house. Because I feel like he would. And probably Vincent was probably his self-insert about like, oh no, man, I mean, it's not the same, but it's in the same ballpark. I would not be surprised, man, if that's actually how Quentin feels about foot massages. Oh man, this movie's something else. Oh my goodness. But also, one thing I gotta talk about. This. Yo, can we all take a moment to talk about Maria de Medeiros, who plays Fabiana, if I'm saying her name right. Can we all take a moment to say how hot she is? Like, bro, she fine as hell. And throughout most of her screen time, she's just wearing a shirt. I have learned in recent times that is a look I am very much fond of, and I was definitely very pleased while I was watching her scenes. And just got some nice thighs on her too, man. Like, no lie, man. I gotta say, man, she fine as hell, man. I had to bring that up because, I mean, let's be real, she is fine as hell, man. Like I just said, man. I'm just saying, she fine, man. She fine. You have what the fuck else can I talk about this movie that hasn't already been like done to death? The music, of course, is spectacular, and the intro. Oh my god, I fucking love the intro. And I also and it's a good thing I saw Reservoir Dogs before this movie, before I saw Pulp Fiction, because I liked how Quentin kind of started both his movies off with them meeting inside a diner, with them discussing something more average or medial, like in Reservoir Dogs. You guys have seen Reservoir Dogs. You guys know that in the opening that they're talking about about tipping their waiters, and you had I'm slipping on the Steve Buscemi. He's like, oh, I don't tip my waiters, you know, I don't tip you, I don't tip my waiters, you know. And they're like, oh, you should tip them, man, you should tip them. And then in Pulp Fiction, they're talking about how you really should be robbing restaurants over banks because they never expect it to happen, you know. So it's kind of interesting how they both kind of started off very similarly, and I kind of thought that Quinn kind of kept that bit because they were both. Both those scenes were great in both Reservoir Dogs and here in Pulp Fiction, and I love that they're. I find it hilarious that they're both done by Tim Roth is in both those scenes because you know Tim Roth was also in Reservoir Dogs, so I just gratified humorous that he's also the one doing it in Pulp Fiction. So that was great. Uma Thurman is, like I said before, is fantastic. I loved her. The dance scene was great. Like I love the whole scenes between her and Vincent when they're interacting. He's like just like, you know, doing his thing, man. And then when he's like in the bathroom trying to figure out how he's gonna get out of this damn house, you know. Loved it, man. Seriously, John Travolta, man. I dare say this man should have gotten deserves an Oscar for his performance in this movie, man. Seriously, he's fucking awesome. He's fucking awesome. I think that's really all I got to say when it comes to Pulp Fiction, at least that I can think of off the top of my head. This movie's amazing. In terms of, you guys want me to give you any like flaws I might have had, honestly, I just wish there was more Samuel L. Jackson screen time. Man, he was like my favorite character in the entire movie. He was so fucking entertaining throughout, man. And bro, I just got to love him when she was in the movie. Also, one other thing I want to talk about. Is Butch meant to be like a reference to Daredevil, to Matt Murdock's father at all? Because I noticed that when we see him, when he's reintroduced, he's wearing a gold like jacket thing over his boxing gear, and I'm pretty sure Matt's dad, when he died, was also wearing a gold jacket. And I know Quinn is a fan of Marvel because he mentions like he also references the Silver Surfer, and a couple other characters in Reservoir Dogs. So I'm curious if that was meant to be like a subtle nod to Daredevil from Pulp Fiction for Quentin Tarantino, man, with that. Because I don't know if anyone else felt it, but I kind of felt like that was meant to maybe be like a sort of Daredevil, right? Especially with him, since he was supposed to throw the fight, but it looks like he didn't end up throwing the fight and ended up winning it, and he's on the run. You know, I don't know. I don't know if that was meant to be a Daredevil reference or if I'm just making connections that aren't there, man. But that's something I noticed. I don't know if any of you guys have picked up or that's been confirmed or not, but that's something I did notice. But yeah, man, that's all I gotta say with Pulp Fiction. Obviously, I highly recommend you guys check this movie out if you have not already. If you're like me, and I gotta say, as a film student, I am forever changed. I will not be the same after watching this movie. I am not the same person. I am forever changed by Pulp Fiction, and God help me, because I probably won't stop quoting the movie now. I'm a film student. God knows what this movie's gonna do to me. But anyway, guys, overall, I'm going to, of course, give this movie a 10 out of fucking 10. Now, if you guys will excuse me, I am going to eat my El Royale with cheese. I might jerk off to some gourmet shit. Then I'm gonna make myself some noodles and get ready for tsunami. So, see you guys next time.